CCTV in-drain camera inspection at 20 Hendrix Street, Windaroo, going down through the iota surface outside the laundry area. You can see from that point there that it's actually broken clean off. It's snapped. There's a lot of movement between the house and the outside footpath, so as you can see there, coming into this drainage point, it's fairly oh, she snapped right off. Okay, so we'll continue through. Nice and easy, we just get round this break if we can. Okay. So we'll just pause it there for a sec and I'll see what we got. We've got something right in front of the camera. Okay, at this point here, now we're only just into the start of the drain. You can see quite clearly that the line has a massive bump in it, which I'd probably suspect, looking at the size of the fig trees next door, that it is a root intrusion. So we may not be able to get past this point. So you can see that quite clearly. That hasn't broken the pipe, it's literally lifted the pipe. So these trees are actually in a vacant or a council-owned block, like an easement. There's no trees down the side of this block besides the trees that are coming from the easement. I'll just pull this camera out and get a quick shot, if we can, of the trees. Okay, that's a fairly big fig right there. All of this is council tree. Okay, and down the side of the property, that's what it's like inside the boundary of the owner-owned section of line. So then, as I say, we go back in. You can see that pipe. It's just totally buckled. So we'll pause it there, remove the brushes, and hopefully we can get the camera past. Okay, now we've got the camera with the guide brushes off. Holy dooly. You can see how much this is pushed. I just want to get a bit of a viewing of this pipe. Now that hasn't broken the pipe, so something's got between the pipe and the outside of the pipe. You can see quite clearly that it's just bending it. That, in my opinion, that in my past opinion and what I've seen, that looks like it's a root running externally and pushing the outside of the pipe wall, crushing it from the outside in. You can see that quite good, Jim? Yep. Okay. Righto. So we'll continue through. We should be able to slide past this now. Y junction, that feed would be coming from the laundry. Okay. This camera just needs to level a little bit. Okay. Coming into another Y junction. passing past another junction. These junctions are all in good order so far. You can see no breaks in the line. Another junction veering off to the right, coming from the camera angle. It all appears to be intact. Okay, here we are. Now, this angle is veering off at 10.8, and that is full of tree roots. That, if I'm not mistaken, looking at where it is, would be coming off the ensuite toilet. Okay, so we'll just continue past that. You can see the root tails not affecting the main drain, but affecting that branch. Okay, now as the camera angle sits, we're dropping down. A small jump. So we're doing this with our guide brushes, so it's just the camera head is directly on the base of the sewer. Okay, now at this point we're starting to hold water. At 14.4, we'll just pull back a tiny bit. It's pretty much not very far after the jump down. So 14.4. At 13 metres, so about 1.4 down from the bottom of the jump. We're starting to hold water. That jump is probably to get depth as the drainage goes outside the boundary of the house, outside the footing area. And we'll continue through and see what we find. See if it's just a flat line or a sag. So from 14.4, here we go. It's a sag in the line to 15.9. Okay, and we're out of the sagged area. Let's try and get the camera. As I say, the camera has gone through that water, so it's a little bit murky. Another section holding here, starting at about 18.3, and we'll continue through. That's another sag in the line, and we're out again to about 19 and a half, say. So about a metre of a short sag. Not broken, but it's sagged. So that could be a ground movement, bedding problem. Okay. 29.5. Pretty much at what appears to be an IO. 29.5. Okay, at 29.6, we found the IO. It steps down. This is actually in the council chamber now. This is, you can see through here, pretty sure there's a chamber fairly close. And here we go. At 32.2, you can see the benching of the chamber. Now we're going to run a camera, we're going to run the eel down the toilet branch, so we'll just retrieve this. Slight bit of a backfall there, that is council. It's not causing any nuisance, it's just an undulation, you can see it quite clearly. I'll pause it there and move it back to the other side of the toilet branch. And just looking here, it's 17.5. That actually looks like a crack in the line. So I'm just going to go out and mark that point. Okay, now I'm going to pull that back a little bit and have another look at that. Okay, you can see it's oval, but it just double check, and there's no root through it, but it just looks like maybe just a splash of glue. It just looked like a crack on the top left-hand side of the screen. Okay, so we've got, you can see quite clearly that it's cut through. There's a whole heap of root sitting there still. That's what the electric eel's cut out. You could just see the eel working then. So what we're going to do is run a bit of water past this and get it cleared. Okay, you can see the water has cleared those roots, but you can see quite a, that's just where the roots have been smashed. How the line is clear now. We're going to actually get the camera and run it down through the toilet point and determine where it's actually broken. So we'll just pause it there. Okay, like I said, we've just flushed a bit of water down. You can see where the eel's gone through and cut and sprayed the roots. You can see the Y junction. It seems to be intact. We're actually going to run through the branch and see what we can see from the toilet point down. So we just pause it there and we'll move this camera. Okay, so we've just marked those sags. We're just going to retrieve, you can see the water in the line, and we're out of it. So that's just outside the house in the backyard area. Steps up. Coming past, the next point will be the toilet that we cleared, right there. You can see the root, what's left of the mangled roots that we've cut through. I'll just check. And we're turning off the main line. So this main line goes all the way under the house. Stepping along. To the point where that root has crushed it. So we'll pause it there and we'll go inside and go down that toilet point.